The Supreme Court is hearing arguments in a case that could have extensive implications for the U.S. tax system. It could also derail proposals in Washington to create a wealth tax. The case before the High Court is Moore versus the United States. It is centered upon whether a couple had to pay taxes on an investment they did not profit from. Financial Times legal correspondent Joe Miller joins us now. Joe, this is complicated, but the case, as we understand it, is also centered around this provision in former President Trump's 2017 tax package. Walk us through the case and how it found its way to the Supreme Court.
Yes, Elaine, you're right. This is indeed quite a complicated case once you broadened it out. But at the heart of it is really a challenge that was brought by a couple from Redmond, Washington, who were forced to pay almost $15,000 under that tax that you mentioned there. It's called the mandatory repatriation tax, came in under the Trump White House. They made an investment in an Indian farming enterprise. That farming enterprise had made various profits over the years. And then when this tax came in, they were forced to pay a tax on those profits. And they sued the US government for a refund. They lost in district court. They lost in an appeals court in the Ninth Circuit. And then the Supreme Court finally agreed to hear this case on the constitutionality of that particular tax.
Well, so there are some concerns over this potentially destabilizing the nation's tax system. Joe, explain to us what some of the concerns are of experts who are watching this about what the possible outcome might be.
Indeed, this is about much, much more than the $15,000 that Charles and Kathleen Moore, which is the couple in question, had to pay. In fact, they've probably paid, or certainly have paid, much more in legal fees just to get this to the Supreme Court. Because what really is at the heart of this case is whether the government has a power to tax unrealized income, and a slightly technical term, but essentially that means income that is essentially not in the hands of the people who are being taxed. And of course, that goes not only to the heart of this tax, which is proposed to raise hundreds of billions of dollars for the US government, and whether that can be allowed to stand, but also whether the US can ever impose far more sweeping taxes on, for example, the wealth of individuals, which we know the Biden administration has tried to do. It was dead on arrival in the Senate last year, but is trying to do that again. And if the US government says, hey, we want to maybe estimate, the wealth of people who are billionaires and tax them on that annually, this case, when it's finally ruled upon, could have massive ramifications on whether that is deemed legal or unlawful.
Right. So let's just dig into that a bit, because this case could hamper, as you know, Democrats' efforts to create a wealth tax in the future. Explain that a bit more to our viewers who maybe are just hearing about this for the first time.
Yes, I mean, this really goes back more than a century when the US first passed an amendment to the US Constitution, which gave the federal government powers to tax income. Now, it's really just a sentence long, the 16th Amendment. It's not very detailed, and it doesn't contain that word realize, that technical term that I mentioned earlier. But for the last 100 years, essentially, the federal government has had the power to tax income and to tax pretty much anything it wanted, from property taxes to all sorts of other taxes that it comes up with. Then when this mandatory repatriation tax came in, it allowed a challenge to whether that amendment really allows the government powers to basically call anything income at some point, or whether it has to say, okay, only once you start getting the cash from that income, you as an individual, can we start to tax that? And that's why this case is so important, because, for example, if you say we're going to tax billionaires on what they own, on their yachts, on their real estate, on their portfolios, then that would be taxing them on income that isn't necessarily cash in hand, so to speak.
Right. What is the definition of income? A very closely watched case. Joe Miller, thanks for helping to break it down for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.